Hey, everybody, and welcome to Seemingly Appropriate Podcast and What to See with Val. I'm Val. This is Mike. And if you're new to watching us, then you don't know that we had a radio show together for almost 8 years, seven and a
Almost
half
8
years.
years, yeah.
Almost 8 years.
Back in the 1960s.
Back, I wasn't even thought of yet. So today we are going to talk about something that we've wanted to talk about on our show, on our radio show for a long time, and that's poop.
Yeah.
I haven't done an episode on seemingly appropriate topics for a while, and what our seemingly appropriate topics are is things that people think that are inappropriate that really aren't, that people should just talk about and not feel uncomfortable about it. And we are live right now, so if you feel like you want to jump in on the poop conversation, feel free, because we're just gonna talk. We're just gonna talk all about it. No holds barred. I actually have some surprise stories. Mike has some stories. We might even have some poop tips for you.
Well, poop tip. I think the poop tip is when you're like coming home and you've got to get to the bathroom as soon as you get the poop tip coming out.
Mike,
no, like a turtle's head.
Yes. You have given me so many poop tips over the years. I learned so much about pooping and fiber and like when to go, when not to go, how to tuck your pants into your socks if you think there's going to be an incident. Like, we would talk about so many things behind the scenes of our radio show that we couldn't talk about on the air.
When we had a boss that was kind of squeamish about just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if we talked about blowing your nose, he would have lost it. So
yeah.
Talking about poop was just, there's just no way.
Oh, you got some commotion and partying at your
I'll tell you what,
right now.
I'll tell you exactly what that is. We have a squirrel in our backyard. And the squirrel, I swear, purposely taunts my dogs.
Of course he does.
He will sit on a branch just out of reach and kind of like, yeah, he's purposely taunting the dogs. They do that all day.
So before we get into the poop talk,
yeah,
like, what's new with you, Mike? A lot has changed since we've had a radio show together.
Yeah, and we haven't really even had like a lunch to catch up for a while.
Yeah.
So I work at Big Brothers Big Sisters of Utah, and I've been there a year and a half now, which is crazy. I really like it. I like the people I work with. I like the cause that we represent, the mentoring, and it's just a whole different world. It's a whole different pace than radio. You know how radio is like 75% men and 25% women, and a nonprofit, it's just the other way around. So I work with lots of women now, which I actually really like.
I mean, that's been your life. You have a wife, you have daughters, you do have
3 sisters.
You have 3 sisters. Like, there's a lot of women in your life already. So
right.
I feel like you are a woman's man and I'm a man's girl. Like, I'm not a girl's girl.
Right.
I'm like, I have more male friends, and I feel like you have a lot of women in your life. It's easy for you to navigate females.
Yeah,
I would say it's easier for you to navigate females than it is for me.
I just went a couple of weeks ago to the national conference for Big Brothers Big Sisters. It was me and 6 women from Utah that all went, and most of them had to share a hotel room. Of course, I got my own hotel room.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted to share with me, but
probably not appropriate either, but
no, not for a nonprofit. But I really enjoy working with women. It does take a little bit of change. Like if a meeting is scheduled and it's an hour that's been blocked out for the meeting, that meeting's going to go an hour. It's not going to be 59 minutes. It's also not going to be 61 minutes. But all of the time must be taken because it was scheduled. So that's kind of new for me.
I like it. And you're not going to go over because nonsense is happening. It is going to be that hour. Yeah. You get all the nonsense plus the knowledge in the hour.
Yeah, where what I'm used to in the past is there's a meeting scheduled, and when you're done with whatever it is you came to talk about, the meeting's over.
Yeah.
But no, in the nonprofit world, and I guess with women, the meeting was scheduled from noon to 1, so the meeting is going to be from noon to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. How about you? Do people know what you're up to?
I mean, I feel like people don't ever understand what I'm up to.
I get asked a lot. Here's the way I explain it. You tell me if this is accurate.
Okay.
Val is working for a ticketing company, and they do lots of events, and they tend to do a lot of Comic-Con type events.
Uh-huh.
Not exclusively those events, but they do a lot of those events. So Val's job is to go to the city where that event is taking place and make sure nothing goes wrong with that ticketing system. And basically, if nothing goes wrong, you just get to enjoy yourself for the weekend.
Yeah.
That's the way I've been explaining, because people will ask me, what's Val up to? And that's what I say. I don't know how close to the truth that is.
Yeah. So I have a couple of different jobs, but the one that pays my bills is I work for a company that owns a lot of event ticketing platforms. And so those platforms are all over the world. And so that means that an event puts itself together and then it contracts with us, and we run all of its software for online ticketing, online apps, websites, like all of that. And a lot of events also we do like interactive things there. Like we did the NBA All-Star games here.
Wow.
We did the crossover. So the crossover is like their convention that's connected to the All-Star games, right? So over there, we did the tickets for the crossover section, but then at the All-Star games, we had a lot of these big screen game like giveaway sections at all of the different locations around the city where you could scan in your ticket and then you had a chance to win, or you scanned a QR code and you had a chance to win tickets through our app. And so the company just renamed itself. It's called Leap Event Technologies. And again, it's all over the world. So this year I've only gone to one like nerd event. Everything else has been sports, cars, and I'm going to go to Canada next month for a Highland Games, for a Scottish festival and Highland Games. And then I'm going to Burning Man for 14 days. I get paid to go see the crazy that happens at Burning Man because we do the ticketing. Now the ticketing is 24 hours at Burning Man. So my shift could be any time in a 24-hour period for 14 days. Yeah.
Are you going to do like 12 on, 12 off kind of thing?
No, they do 6 hours shifts. And then I think I get one day off while I'm there. And we're sleeping in shipping containers, and you have to shower with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to see how dirty I get, because
you don't want to shower with everyone.
I don't want to shower with my coworkers. That's like I could probably get away with where I'm at in my life right now, where you're a total stranger and like we just all keep our eyes here. But I don't want to accidentally like see my boss naked.
Right.
You know.
So if you could shower with people and there was a guarantee that you'd never see a single one of them again,
I'd be clean.
No worries.
No worries. Yeah. I mean, at first I'd be a little hesitant about it, but then I'd be like, I'm 44. I don't care. I'm turning 44 the day that I get on the playa. So on my 44th birthday, I'm experiencing Burning Man for the first time.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, I show up, I set up all the equipment, I make sure the software's working, I teach all their staff how to run everything, and then I'm there in case something goes wrong. Sometimes there's a lot for me to do, like this last couple of weeks. And then sometimes there's not a lot for me to do. So, but I get to see a lot of places. I have a lot of miles. I have a lot of hotel points.
So that'll help me now when people ask, so what's Val up to? Because I still get that quite often.
And then I have 3 podcasts. And I do movie reviews for Good Things Utah on the Fridays that I'm in town. Yeah. So those things don't pay me. That's like my for fun hobby that keeps me sane.
And you recently went to Africa.
Yes, I went to South Africa with my dad and husband for 2 weeks. And I have to say, like, when you say you're going to South Africa, you think, you know that it's going to be amazing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you get there and it's beyond anything. If you really take it in, there were people that were not taking it in. But if you really let yourself be there, it's probably the coolest thing like I've ever done. I want to go back. Like if I could figure out how to work there for 3 months, and like I'm still really good friends with one of our guides named Tebi, who's from the Okavango or Botswana. And we chat probably a couple times a week over text message. And I did a podcast with him. Actually, you can see it on my YouTube channel right now, where he talks about all the conservation that he does there. So not only does he work for these places that you can go on safari, that 85% of all that money stays within the community. That's where we went. I just wanted to be a responsible tourist. On his time off, he goes and digs water holes for the elephants.
Oh, wow.
That's what he does on his time. Like, he gets a group of people together, and then he also goes into schools in the local school areas and teaches them about conservation. He helps farmers figure out how to keep the elephants out of their crops so that they don't kill the elephants, so we can have the elephants, but they can still make money. Like, he's just the superhero of a guy.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, to bring this back to the topic, when
you
we
just want to go
together,
straight there, huh?
when we worked together, I was always amazed that you had never, as an adult, pooped your pants, because I think most adults, I think after 40, there's a pretty good chance that everybody you meet who's over 40 has pooped their pants, whether it's just, you know, the sharding kind of thing or a full-on release. But you went to a different continent for your first pooping of the pants.
You know me, I got to make it full on drama, but this is where it all started. So you and I and someone I was dating at the time, and Joy, your wife, we went to a comedy show. And at this comedy show, every comedian that went up talked about an incident in when they pooped their pants. And it was usually like they were almost there, and they're like doing the walk, and they got their key in the door, and then all of a sudden they go. And then the next morning I was like, Mike, like, what are these guys talking about? Like, are guys really going around pooping their pants? And you're like, you haven't pooped your pants as an adult? And I'm like, no. Like, are you crazy? And so then I brought it up to a couple of other guys, and they were like, no, we've totally, and they were under 40. They're like, we've totally pooped our pants. You haven't pooped your pants? Now, women, we usually pee our pants, right? Like, we are frequent pant peers, right?
Yes,
all the time. There's not a week that goes by that I don't pee my pants a little bit. And so then it became, well, Val, as soon as you shit your pants as an adult, like, you need to let us know. So I have this shit tree that's like the calling tree, where as soon as I did it, there's like 15 people that want to know.
And you sent out the text immediately that it happened.
Yes.
But I have not heard the story to this point.
Okay.
All I know is that it happened.
Well, you helped me. I was hoping to talk about your poop stories first, but
sure.
we'll get into mine. Mine. But you told me about. We can
start with an easy one. I mean, I was at work. This was, I think, I was probably just barely into my 40s, and it was kind of one of those things where I was on my computer, and I felt like maybe I was just a little gassy, and so I did one of those things where you just kind of lean a little bit, you know, to release the pressure, and I pooped my pants, sitting right at my desk.
What did you do?
Fortunately, it was about 11:45 a.m. So I kind of like leaned my head into my boss's door and said, I'm going to lunch. And I don't know why I didn't just go home, but instead I went to TJ Maxx.
Of course you did.
And I went into TJ Maxx, and I found a pair of pants that looked pretty identical to the ones I was wearing.
Okay.
I bought them. I had kind of like a jacket wrapped around my waist kind of thing. And then I went into the TJ Maxx restroom and put on the new pants, and I just threw away the old pants. I feel sorry for whoever had to empty that garbage can that night.
Yikes.
And I went back to work and finished the day.
What was the waddle like when you were walking through TJ Maxx?
I really compare it to, do you remember how Charlie Chaplin would walk?
Yeah.
Very tight, kind of like that. It's the Charlie Chaplin walk.
Was there like an odor, or?
I tried to move real quick and avoid eye contact.
Okay. So would you say that at that point when you shit your pants, it was probably just tight? It was tight shits. It wasn't like runny shits.
Yes, fortunately. And I was wearing boxer briefs, which kind of contained the whole thing.
Okay. But that still is a little bit risky.
Yeah. I mean, at least I wasn't wearing just like regular boxers. That's not going to give you any protection. No.
Yeah. All right. So Mike shared stories like this to me.
This is not the only time this has happened.
Along the ways. Right. He shared all these things. And then my husband, who has shit his pants on accident and on purpose a
Oh.
lot of times and shared those stories with me. I felt like, okay, when this finally does happen to me, like I felt prepared, but I was sure there's no way that this is happening to me,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like women, like we can hold it. We've got different muscles and different things. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I felt like it wouldn't happen. We've all seen Bridesmaids when they go shit in the street. Most of
Yeah.
us have seen Sex in the City when she showers and accidentally gets the water in her mouth in Mexico and then like, you know,
Yeah.
shits her pants. But like, I was just like, that's TV. That's not real life. So there I am. I'm in South Africa. And before you go to South Africa, you have to get certain immunizations. And those immunizations were really messing with my body because my body is just really everything. Like coffee makes me sensitive.
You have a
Like
very sensitive
I've,
system. Like there was one
yeah.
morning I gave you a Benadryl and I think you were in a coma for 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was like this, and then I was like this.
Yeah,
and
from
we
one
were
Benadryl.
doing a live show.
Yeah.
So it just was making me like I'd already. Okay, this is full disclosure show, everybody. So I've been trying to lose weight, and I'm in my 40s now. And Mike made me aware that once you hit your 40s, you're very aware of how many times you poop or don't poop because your body needs more fiber. And I hadn't experienced this yet. So I started experiencing this last year because I had been trying to lose weight. I'm not getting enough fiber. And so I started taking fiber supplements. I'm working out, but I'm still just like I'm constipated. It's just like I'm not having regular everyday poops, right?
Yeah.
I am like usually, like when we worked in radio, I pooped every morning before I went to work and probably once in the afternoon before I left work, right? Like I was on a poop schedule.
Yeah.
Like I knew when I was going to poop. And in this last year of my life, it's a guessing every day. Sometimes I'm uncomfortable. I'm worried that I've gone 2 days and no poop has happened. So I'm like, if I can get my gut in balance, one, I'll be happier because everybody's happier when they poop. And you'll lose weight once your gut is constantly getting rid of
stuff out of there,
the crap that's in your body. So I was already on that journey. Then I go on this medication that we have to take. It's anti-malaria medication. You have to take it 7 days before you go, the whole time you're in South Africa, and then 7 days after. That was kind of also not making me feel great. And I'm like, well, awesome. I'm going to lose all this weight, right? Because it's like making my system go, but like not in a weird way, just like, okay. So I already have that going for me. I'm in Johannesburg. You cannot drink the water in Johannesburg. So I got us all the water bottles that filters the water.
Okay.
You can drink alcohol. If you drink tea, it has to be hot. If you drink coffee, just hot, hot, hot. So I'd been really good about all of this stuff. One day, I don't know if I accidentally got water in my system or I ate something that wasn't right, but my stomach wasn't feeling good and I was going to the bathroom a lot. So when you leave to Johannesburg, if you go to the right place, they'll give you what I call the shit pack. And it's a package, and I wish I would have brought it up here, but it's a clear package full of everything that you're going to need if you think you have horrible diarrhea while you're out of the country, right? It's like little things that you can take if you are on a plane and you don't want to shit yourself on the plane. Just lasts you for a little while, very mild. It has
if it isn't actually called a shit pack, somebody's missing the boat here.
It should be on Amazon. Get your travel shit pack.
Oh yeah, I'd buy it.
And then there's another set that's like, okay, you just had diarrhea and you want to stop that up. Okay. Then there's one little vial with 2 pills in it. And this is if you start shitting yourself to death, you take this pill. And if that doesn't help you and you think you have to take another one, you go to the emergency room. This is the shit pack. You've got everything. Yeah, it's the full spectrum of shit, right? So as I'm having this diarrhea from whatever I drank or ate, I took the mild one, right? So I took the mild one. Now I'm stopped up again and I'm eating and I can't shit. So I'm uncomfortable because I'm like this. So I'm like, what? So I'm just off and on with this in Johannesburg. The last night we're in Johannesburg, I'm feeling pretty good. Dave is tattooing at the tattoo convention. My dad and I are having dinner and a glass of wine on the street. I booked us on a party street. It's just the whole time we're there. So we're in a bar/restaurant watching and feeling the vibes of Johannesburg. It was really cool. Yeah. So I'm finally eating. My stomach's feeling good, and their food was delicious. And I'm eating these egg rolls, so it's a little greasy, right? Eating these egg rolls. I've got a glass of wine. I'm drinking the wine. I'm feeling great. Dave's like, I'm on my way, and I'm like, great. I'm going to order another glass of wine. We'll order him some more food. Dave sits down, and I'm like feeling a little rumbly, right?
Yeah, a little pressure.
And I'm like, that might have just been like an air pocket. We'll let that. Took another little sip, and then I go, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a little dance now going on in there, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so we're at the restaurant right next to where we're staying, and it's literally you just go in and up the elevator. This restaurant doesn't have bathrooms because it's a shared art district community restroom that you need a key. And I'm like, it'd just be quicker to go shit in my own bathroom up in my room. So I'm like, I'll be right back. I get to the elevator, and now my body's like, you don't have time.
You're not going to make it.
And I'm like, I'm squeezing, and I'm doing the, you're going to do this.
Little sweat on the upper lip.
Elevator. We're in the penthouse, and I'm just doing. I'm going back and forth. I have like some like workout like pants on, and then I have some Spanx under that. Right.
Oh, well, that's good.
So I get into the room and I realized I had turned off all the lights because I'm trying to save electricity for some fucking reason. It's not even my place.
It's not
right?
even your continent.
Whatever. So I'm trying to get to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm just going to have to shit in my dad's bathroom. His is closer. And I forgot all of the lights are on the outside of the door in this country, not the inside. So I'm reaching for the lights. I can't get anything. I get in the bathroom, and in the dark, my body just goes,
yep. It's go time.
And like a little baby with a diaper, I just went, because I have these Spanx on, and my body, like I had no control over it. Like it just went out, and I just felt so much better. And then I was like, oh my God, this is awful. And it's dark.
This could have been so much worse.
At least I was in the bathroom.
You're wearing Spanx. You're in your own hotel room. You've got access to a shower, presumably, and
there's more.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but like, yes. So I'm not in public. It's not dripping down my leg. Like it's
You're not commando,
right? So I
waddle. You don't want to shit yourself commando.
No, you don't. Bad. Especially with what happened to me, because it had been days of release, and it's new babies when it goes up their back.
Oh yeah,
because it fills everything up, and then it goes. I'm an adult with that situation right now.
Yes, very nice.
So I'm like waddling and squishing into my bathroom, see if there's anything left in there. So I pull the pants down, go on the toilet. It's all just laying there in my just big pile of shit in my pants. Luckily, I got everything out, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go over to the shower. I'm gonna shower off. It's just right there, and I try and like flick it out into the toilet to like get it and flush what's in there. But then there's still some left. So I'm like, I'll just bring it over the shower and I'll wash it out as I'm washing me out. And there's some stuff floating in there.
Yeah,
and I remember what Dave told me, my husband. He's like, sometimes when you're in the shower, you just have to stomp the shit down. I'm like, why are you stomping shit in the shower? So I'm like, well, I'm just doing everything today. So I go to stomp it. Doesn't go down. Just disgusting. So I wash myself off. Outside, it's still, the lights are going, I text Dave. I'm like, it happened. I'm not coming back down. He's like, yay! He's so excited. He tells my dad. They're laughing about it. I start the shit tree. You're the first person after Dave that I had text. So I got everything cleaned up. I threw like everything in the washer, like they had mats down, like just in case. And then Dave comes in, he's like, there's shit in your shoe.
Oh boy.
So it's just my sandals. There's just, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, he's like, but you did it in a different continent. That's better than anything I've ever done.
Fantastic story.
So now I'm just paranoid, like from there on out, that whole trip, I'm like, am I going to shit my pants again?
And did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No. And now I don't, like you used to tell me, like, you never trust a fart. I've never had that happen to me before, that I've never had to not trust a fart. Like that's never.
You just never know.
Well, now I know that, but I didn't before. Before I was like, whatever.
Now I have a friend that calls that. She will text me and say I gambled and lost, and I know exactly what that means. So yeah, every fart is a gamble at that point.
Yeah, well, I didn't know until now, and now I know.
So I'm pleased that everything that your husband and I both told you all came true. Like all the things that you didn't believe.
Yeah, all of
happened.
it. I was doing the breathing. I'm trying to get the key in the door because it's an old school door. So it's a key and not a little slidey thing because we got an Airbnb. And I'm like, just get in there. And then I get in there and then I'm like, there's literally a toilet within feet of me.
Yeah, you could see it. Yeah.
No, it was dark. I couldn't see it, but I knew it was there. Okay, I knew it was there.
Yeah, it rarely happens. Mine was kind of like all of a sudden, at least that first one. I have many others. But yeah, usually it's within a few seconds of safety. And
now, like Mike, I'm like right at I think I met you. How old were you when when we first started doing the show?
Probably 49, 50.
Okay. Because it was 2015.
I would have been 50.
Okay. Yeah, when you were talking to me at that point about like fiber and like all these things and you got to know, and like I was just like, okay, whatever. But now I'm like, even when I travel, I have my colon broom stuff, and then I also have like the over the counter just like powder that you can
Metamucil
get. It's Miramax or whatever that. Not Miramax, that's a movie company. Miralax is what I have. And I actually have my own concoction now that I put those together, and I know, and I'm like, that's where I'm at in my life right now. Like I have to take that, whoever's cleaning my room sees all my vitamins and like my Tylenol, and then they see like my colon and stuff, and they're just like, this lady's old. Who's this fucking old lady?
They probably just think she's over 40. Speaking of Miralax, I had my third colonoscopy actually on my birthday last week.
Nice.
And the doctor, in past times, this is my third colonoscopy, and the previous two I took something that was prescribed for the clean out. But this time the doctor just wanted me to get Miralax. And I mixed 23 ounces of Miralax with 60 ounces of Gatorade.
So you just poured the whole thing in there?
Yeah. Yeah. Not the big jar, but the normal size one. The whole thing with 60 ounces of Gatorade. And then over a space of 6 hours, you drink all of that. And then it's just nonstop shitting.
Okay.
My wife just walked in the room, and I'm not sure that she approves of what we're doing over here. Talking shit.
Just tell her it's my fault.
This is Val's show. I'm just the guest.
It's the shit show.
It's a shit show.
Okay. When you were in high school, were you a person that could shit at school like no problem, or were you a shy shitter?
I think I was a little on the shy side, but not to the point where it was a problem.
When did you stop becoming shy about shitting, or are you still a shy shitter?
No, I can shit anywhere now. I think probably a lot of camping, having to shit out in the woods.
But I think camping, like everybody knows that's what you do. But like, so if you're at work with all these, if you're at work, like say, and there's 2 stalls and you're in there pooping. If somebody comes in, are you holding the poop until they leave? Or are you just like free for all pooping?
I'll give it a few seconds, but I'm not going to wait all day.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, where I work now, we have single stall bathrooms.
Yeah.
So it's never an issue.
Yeah.
But like where we used to work.
Yeah.
I'd be right in the middle of it and somebody'd come in and go to the stall right next to me.
And then they'd start talking to you.
Exactly. There was the time I thought they were talking to me, but they were on their cell phone.
Yeah. Nobody ever talked to me at the radio station, whether I was in the bathroom or not. So I
just
never had that issue
to you at all.
Yeah, just nobody liked me. So
come on.
you were no, I'm serious. Like nobody would talk to me. It was like you, but you were paid to talk to me. Our boss would talk to me because he was also paid to talk to me. Corky would always talk to me. But like everyone else couldn't give a fuck.
I guess I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was of no consequence. Yeah, but like, because he had to. He didn't seek me out.
I don't know about that.
He didn't seek me out. He's a good guy, but yeah, I think I'm just not, yeah. Anyway, so for me, when I was in high school, I would drive home. I was shipbreak in high school. Like I would drive home to poop if I couldn't hold it the whole day.
Yeah. And I think that's more common with women than men.
Yeah. And then like now, depending on how big the bathroom is, if I'm like out at a convention, if it's like stalls and stalls and stalls, I'm like, whatever. But if there's only 4 stalls, I still try and like hold it for a little bit because especially if like the bathroom is really close to like where we're working, because then they all see me walk out and they know that I wasn't the one in there destroying the bathroom. Cause it's never just like, okay, it's always me destroying a bathroom somewhere. Like I really appreciate our friends Jake Stone and John Smith, because they used to post on Facebook like where the best restrooms were in Utah if you needed like, you know, if you needed a comfortable bathroom to poop in.
Where you're going to do some serious work for a while.
Yeah, or if you just needed to go wreck something, like it doesn't matter. But recently, you and I both love stand-up comedy, and recently I was in Vegas and I went and saw a show at the Comedy Cellar there, and now I've been to both Comedy Cellars, the one in New York and the one in Vegas. But there is a comedian and his name is Chris Clark, and he's absolutely fantastic if you have a chance to check him out. But he is himself a shy shitter.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
And this is his, not shirts, not stickers.
Yeah.
But just in case.
It's kind of a wipe up
just
towel.
In case. Yeah. And he told a story and I was like, that's totally me, where he's like, he was in a stall and somebody came in and he was like just totally going full force. And somebody came in and he's like, and I'll suck that right back up and hold it as much as I can, because he's a shy shitter. And I'm just wondering, like, because I know people that will go into the bathroom talking on the phone and poop. And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
do you want me to call you while I'm shitting or while I'm peeing, for that matter?
I talk to people on the phone if I know it's going to be quiet. But you're never really 100% sure. That's true.
But I'm just like,
now, speaking of Vegas,
some time by yourself.
Speaking of Vegas, years ago, I went into the public restroom at Caesar's Palace, and I was in the stall, and the guy next to me just let loose. He was not a shy shitter at all, just full on hurricane category 5 going on next to me.
Maybe he had what I had.
But after the noise stopped, there was just a pause, and then he said, "Oh, God."
Oh, God.
And everybody's experienced that.
Have you ever had like a... Did you just fall on the floor?
No.
Have you ever had a poop experience where you weighed yourself after because you were
sure
you lost 5 pounds?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you know ahead of time, you weigh yourself before and after.
Yeah.
Just
if you have enough time, for sure.
There is a burger place in Albuquerque, and they have a scale in the lobby because their burgers are so big. It doesn't involve pooping.
Yeah.
But they encourage you to weigh yourself and then order one of these giant burgers, eat the burger, and then weigh yourself again.
Yeah. Recently I started listening to Smartless. It's a...
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Do you watch Smartless? Because they have a...
I don't watch it.
Did you watch the show?
No.
Okay, so I didn't know there was a podcast, but now there's a series.
Okay.
It's a 6-episode series of the guys on tour.
Oh, like on the road. Okay,
on the road, and it's so fantastic. It's Sean Hayes. Let's see.
Just Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman.
And the guy from Arrested Development. I can never remember his name.
And Batman, because he's the voice of Batman. Let me see.
What is his name?
His name is Will Arnett.
Yes,
But so on their series, you'll have to watch it. It was hilarious. And then I started listening after that.
So on the podcast, I've only listened to the podcast. They talk about the tour, but I didn't realize there was a show. So Jason
Bateman brought up so he showers. He's like you. He showers every day before he can even function. Like if he doesn't shower in the morning before he goes out, it's like he doesn't even exist. And that's how
Right.
you used to be
I'm
when
not
you
that
would
way
come in the
anymore.
morning. Oh, okay. Well, when we used to have our morning show, I could tell the days he didn't shower because
Kids were just off.
it was a different kind of
I didn't
Mike.
smell bad, right? It was just
No, it was just a different kind of
different
Mike.
vibe. Yeah.
And it's not good or bad. It was just different. And so he basically was like, you wake up, you shit, and then you shower, and that is your day. That's Dave's day. He wakes up, he shits and he showers. But this is the thing about Jason Bateman. If he shits again during the day, he has to showers again.
My wife dated a guy
again.
that would shower after he shit every single time, right?
Did your wife date Jason Bateman?
Did you date Jason Bateman? If she did, she wouldn't be married to me right now.
Whatever, you don't know. He could be a shit show. You don't know that. But yeah, so what are like people's thoughts about I don't shower every morning. Sometimes I shower at night. And most of the time I get in the shower, it relaxes me. And then I can go to the bathroom.
But then do you get back in?
No, I wet wipes, right?
Yeah.
Like the wet wipes. So a lot of people during the pandemic went and bought the bidet. The bidet. And I know a lot of people are like, just think you're disgusting now if you don't use one. Our friend Guy Seidel is like a huge component of the bidet. And he thinks toilet paper is wrong just because it doesn't clean you enough.
It really is kind of weird that we just use dry paper.
Right?
To wipe our asses.
And we all know we've been in situations where that dry paper not gone. We thought it was gone.
Sure.
But not there.
Well, here's the thing that I'll introduce to you that'll happen in your 50s.
Oh, God. Okay. I got my notebook out.
You'll take a decent dump and you'll think that you wiped very, very well. And then about an hour later, you realize, I got to go back in.
Oh, that happens your whole life. I don't think it's just your 50s. See, Mike, this is the thing. I got a big booty. I'm a big booty girl.
Okay, because for me, that's been my 50s.
Yeah, I'm a big booty girl. And that's why I'm in there really trying to ham it out. But then sometimes like an hour later, that's why the wet wipes are so important.
Yeah.
An hour later, that's why I'm wondering. Every day I wonder how Cardi B with her long fingernails and
she must have a person
booty,
that does that.
Or she has like a brush, maybe.
Oh, could be.
Like, or a spigot. Does she have a shit spigot?
Or a long shoehorn? One of those shoehorns that's on a stick.
She's got to have a person, right?
Yeah, I'll bet she has a person
that comes in and wipes for her.
Yeah. Here's what I've wondered about too. Like, we both own dogs.
Yeah.
And animals don't wipe.
Sometimes I've had to wipe my dogs.
Oh, really?
Because it's hanging.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, most of the time they poop and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Did we as humans used to be like that? Maybe.
And then we domesticated ourselves, and now we don't have that gland that like cleans the shithole. I'm just trying to say it as we couldn't say it we couldn't say poop. We couldn't say use the restroom. We couldn't say relieve yourself. We couldn't talk about diarrhea. We couldn't talk about dirty diapers, like all the things that's relatable in people's lives. We had to push it down.
And not only did our boss not want us to talk about that stuff on the air, but he personally was affected by it.
So we would try and say it.
We would say it in his office and make him squirm.
Oh, and I don't even hate him.
No, not at all.
It was the only authority that I just wanted to kind of push it.
Yeah. And, he has 2 kids, and I really honestly wonder whether he ever changed either of their diapers, even once.
He did. Maybe he had the same like hiring company that Cardi B has, and they came and did it.
Could be. It could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like my timer, we have not been talking for almost 2 hours.
Mine says 39 minutes.
Okay, mine says 1 hour, 39 minutes.
Oh.
And I was like, that's not a thing.
No.
But yeah.
So, for all those 8 years, almost 8 years that we were doing the morning show, this was probably our number one off-air topic.
Yeah.
Was poop.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Probably number 2 was like, talking shit about fellow employees.
Yeah.
Or spouses, complaining about our spouses.
I mean, we both had a lot to complain about. I'm just kidding. No, I had. know. Did I complain a lot about my spouse?
I don't think either of us complained a lot about our spouses.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think we complained more about or it was talking about whether we were going to get a nap or not. It was because that's like sleeping, shitting, eating was that's like our life.
I have forgotten how to nap. I got so good at napping while we were doing the show. I would nap every day, almost the exact same hour every day. But I can't do it now. I bet I've taken 3 naps since we did the show.
I could go lay down and take a nap right now.
Yeah. I feel like I could, but then I lay down and nothing happens.
It's because you don't need it anymore. Your life is full of goodness, and you want to actually be a part of your life. Whereas before, you were like, when am I going to be fucking done with this?
I got to tell you, I mean, I had fun, but I don't miss it.
Yeah. I miss parts of it. I miss parts of it.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, I do miss being on a microphone. So I'm trying to figure out, and podcasting is different. Like I miss hosting, like I loved it when we got to go do charity stuff and we got to go host like charity events and like be on stage with a microphone. I miss that. And so I'm trying to like put together a tight 5.
Yes, and I did that stand up. Have you done it since?
I haven't, because I haven't been asked back. So I think I either was so good they were intimidated or I sucked.
Well, I don't think they ask a lot. I think you have to just go do it.
No, I mean, they asked me specifically to headline without doing any other, to open for a headliner at Wise Guys. And I think that if I would have been good, they would have been like, encouraging. I got no feedback. So I figured, and I think it's because I went over on time, which is like the biggest, it was a big no. But I didn't see the light, a tight 5, and I was like 10. I did 10 minutes.
I thought it was even more than that, no?
No, it was 10. Yeah, it was 10 minutes. So
well, they probably should show you where the light is before you.
Yeah, like I didn't get any coaching. I didn't get any feedback after from anybody there. So so I figured since I'm on the road so much, what I would do is try and do open mics not in Utah.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm so,
there's zero risk.
There's zero risk. And I don't know any of those people. And when you do open mics here, it's just like in any city that you're from, all the people that are there, all the other comedians, and they just want you to fail. Nothing against them, but that's just like, that's the name of the game. Like they're just there to like watch you freaking.
You think it's that competitive?
No, I just think it's like, I would go too and be like, let's watch them, I don't think it's malicious. I just think but I also, if you've watched the show, listen to the show, Mike knows this about me. I care about what people think, and it's something I can't ever get rid of. And if like I can get up in front of thousands of people I don't know and do stupid shit and not care. But the minute you put me in front of people that I do know and I'm trying to do something that I care about, it's like that rattles me. That rattles me a little bit.
I would rather speak in front of 10,000 people than 10 people in a conference room. Yeah. I'm much more comfortable in front of just a mass of people.
Yeah. It just depends on what I'm doing. Because I'm not a stand-up comedian. And so walking in front of a whole bunch of stand-up comedians, I used to be cocky enough that I could have gotten up there and been like, fuck you guys, I don't care. Like, I know I'm good, but I think I'm past that point in my life. I'm trying to be the badass that I know I am, to the point recently, as actually today, I've always wanted to do this because Rihanna and her sexy haircut, and I never dared to do it. I didn't even dare to go up as high as she did, like baby steps, right? And Dave's going to tattoo it tomorrow. And the cool thing about it is if I end up not liking it, I just grow my hair back out and it's like it never happened.
Under there, but nobody sees it.
But I wanted to try. Like there's things in my life that I haven't tried because either I couldn't because of my job, or I couldn't because I was a mom, or I couldn't because my parents didn't want me to.
Or they're illegal.
Or it's illegal. I don't know if sometimes. But so now I'm just kind of like, I just want to kind of try the things.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with this, again, there's no risk.
Yeah. Hair grows back.
Yeah. At least mine does. My hair grows everywhere. It grows in places I don't need it to be.
I was at a barber shop. This was about 10 years ago. And this was about the time the barbers started trimming my eyebrows every time I got my hair cut.
Yeah.
And the barber told me, as you get older, you get hair around all of your holes.
Yeah.
More hair around all of your holes, your ears, your nose, and all of the others.
Yeah.
And I have found that to be completely true.
Yeah. And knuckles. Anywhere you have anything that moves, you have hair.
I think that's another show.
Yeah. All the hair.
Talk about body hair.
Well, and I mean, have you ever, I won't get into that. That's a little too gross. But there's a comedian that talks about hairy assholes and trying to get the shit out of it.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
you know.
I know all about that.
You got to trim it up. You got to get.
Yeah. Or the laser hair removal. But
who, like, it's like, here, I'm sorry. Get in
you're
there.
right. I mean, but somebody chose that job.
Yeah. And I mean, all the Kardashians have done it.
Yeah.
You know?
Recently, I had piriformis syndrome.
What is that?
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that word before I had it. There's a muscle underneath your glute that goes from your hip to the base of your spine called the piriformis. And your sciatic nerve goes right by. This is old person talk, by the way. This is what me and my old friends talk about. That nerve was pinched right in that muscle. And so I just had intense pain right in the middle of my butt, my left butt cheek.
Oh, my gosh.
So I was doing chiropractic, but I also would go to the massage school.
Okay.
And get massages. And these poor people at the massage school, like there was one girl, and I'm going to say girl because I think she was probably all of 19 or 20.
Okay.
And she had been at the massage school for 6 weeks, and she draws me. And I mentioned that this is what I want her to spend the whole hour working on, is this muscle under my glute.
Okay.
So I paid her to rub my butt for an hour, essentially. But during the massage, I said, this probably wasn't your dream when you wanted to become a massage therapist, that you're going to have to rub an old guy's butt for a whole hour. I tipped well.
Yeah.
And she did a great job. So,
yeah. I mean, like you said, it's kind of, you get into that. That's why, like, I could never be like a piercer or, you know, a waxer or something like that, because I don't want to.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to touch people's pink parts.
But some people do.
Yeah, some people have no issue with it and they make a lot of money doing it. So good for them. But yeah, so we want to know, or at least I do. Mike may not care. Have you shit your pants as an adult?
No, I definitely want to know.
Are you a shy shitter? Do you want to share your shit story with us? Because I just kind of want to do more talking about poop. Like, I think it's regular chats, you know?
Well, and I have kind of a name for it if you want to hear it. I probably should have not told you this. I should have told you this before.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think the name for the show that we want to do is called Fecal Matters.
You better trademark that right now.
Fecal Matters.
You just said it live.
Yeah. So mull that over, see what you think of that as a name.
Yeah.
I kind of picture it being a 1-hour show on an AM radio station on Saturday morning.
You want to go back to radio, huh?
Well, only if I can do Fecal Matters.
I mean, you can do Fecal Matters on YouTube.
That's true, yeah.
Like, we got it, man.
And if we really went for it, we'd have a proctologist on the show once in a while to give us the
I mean, you have one, right?
I have one?
Do you? I figured you knew one.
I don't have a proctologist, no.
Okay. Well, who does your other thing?
I mean, the colonoscopy. Who does a colonoscopy? That's a
colonoscopist?
No, gastroenterologist, maybe? Wow. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
I used to go to a guy who called himself the Gut Whisperer. He's out at Jordan Valley Hospital, and he calls himself the Gut Whisperer.
Is he a gut whisperer?
I mean, that's his world, his colonoscopies and poops.
Okay. I'm also going to be doing an episode. Maybe I'll see if I have time this week, because I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con next week. But I recently was diagnosed with being bipolar, which I don't think is a surprise for you, Mike.
I'm not shocked. I wouldn't say I was shocked. I mean, sounds about right.
This is the thing, like, I know that I've had like mental health issues for a long time. and we covered a lot of them during our show. Mike has dealt with every single one of my
Oh
personalities,
yeah,
unfortunately. There
it
was
was
a
a
time
roller
where he
coaster
was like,
ride.
"Who's showing up today?"
Yeah.
And
Good morning, Sybil.
and I feel so bad because it was just there was some really hard times, and I'm sure you were done with me at certain points. You're like, "Can you just fire this girl? Like, I'm so over it." Um, but I thought like when I started going through like my depression and dealing with my mental health, like, and I would speak out about it, and so I thought I'm really like I get it. Like I want to take the stigma away. I want people to understand this is a thing. And then I realized that I am a hypocrite and an asshole because the minute those words came out of my therapist's mouth last month and said, "Has anybody ever told you that you're bipolar?" I immediately in my mind was like, "Oh my God,
I'm not telling anyone.
I'm the real kind of crazy." Like I'm not,
Oh no, no,
no,
no.
but like, cause we all, I think like every time we hear or see something about someone being bipolar, it's the worst case scenario,
Right,
right?
right.
Like every movie about somebody bipolar, they're in some institution. Every time you
Or
talk
they're a
about a
mass murderer.
celebrity or they're a mass murderer or, something like that. And so, and I understand the difference, obviously, between movies and reality. This is what I do. But until like those words, because before it was just like you have depression, you have manic depression. I didn't know that manic depression is the same as being bipolar.
Oh, see, I didn't either.
That was so in the last 15 years, they've realized that it's the same thing. So I didn't know that. So for a week, I was just like kind of a mental wreck more than I already was, just thinking like, I thought I was like good. And then you tell me this, and I immediately think, oh my gosh, this is awful. Instead of being like, well, at least I know what's wrong with me now. Let's get on it. Right. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was just like a jerk to myself for like a week. And then I went and read like what it is. And now it's finally taken me. I'm actually going to see because a therapist and a psychologist are very different. A
Correct. Yeah.
psychologist can give you medication
Right.
and psychoanalyze you or what and analyze you. And it took me a while to get that appointment, but I am going to be going to that official appointment. Let's see, I think it is in 2 weeks. It's been almost 2 months. So by the time I get there, it'll be 2 months, but I go and see him on the 26th. I will be getting on medication. And we'll see how it goes.
And you should talk about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to talk about it. So, sorry if you are offended by my original thoughts on it, but I just think it's put out there in the world, especially when you and I were younger. Like you didn't talk about going to
Yeah,
therapy.
not at all. No.
You didn't talk about having a mental illness. You didn't talk about depression. You shoved that down and you went on your way and pretended like everything was okay.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Yeah. So I'll be talking about that on some episodes coming up. I will still also be talking about movies. I'm also going to have an episode this week right here on YouTube for What to See with Val and Seemingly Appropriate. We're going to talk about all of the social media wars right now. I am threading. I am on Thread. I have been kicked off Facebook. I'm trying to get back on, but once I get back on, I don't know that I'm going to utilize it personally, probably just for work stuff. Because I'm kind of over it. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't be this hard to get back on if I didn't do anything wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like what the heck is going on? So we're going to talk about that. I have a couple of people that are going to get on. We're going to chat about that. But I'm enjoying threading so far.
I signed up, of course, because as a real American, that's what you do. But I look at it and like, okay, now what? The weird thing for me is that the people I follow on Instagram, which came over to Threads, are very different than the people I follow on Twitter. For me, Twitter is news and information.
Yeah.
And Instagram is pictures and friends and family. So it's kind of weird to have the people that I followed for those visual things now on something that looks exactly like Twitter.
What I like about it is it's so easy to unfollow people.
Oh.
So I have decided to make Thread like a place for me to be myself, whatever that is.
Wow. And if somebody's not cool with them,
because on Facebook, I have already set a precedent and it's been very hard for me to change what people already adapt to who I am on Facebook. On Instagram, it's just a bunch of pictures, whatever. Nobody goes to my Twitter. It's politics and movies and it's whatever. But I feel like for Thread, what I'm going to do is I am not following people that I don't want to follow, that I don't know, that I don't recognize, that doesn't fit in to what I'm trying to feel right now. My therapist also told me when he told me that I was bipolar is that I don't know who I am. And told me to think about that. So I've been thinking about that. It's been rough.
Yeah, that would kind of mess with you.
Because I guess I don't. And he said it's really because for the past 15 years of my life, I've been paid to be two different people.
Oh, interesting.
So do I like these things because I like them, or do I like them because I was told and paid to like them? Do I like them because I like them, or do I like them because my ex-husband liked them and I was with him for 20 years? Like, who do I like? Who am I? What do I like? What do I want to do? Now that I'm out of radio and what do I want to do? Do I really want to do events? I don't know, Mike. I have no idea.
But
he also told me to get a hobby not related to movies or work. So I don't know if I'm going to start knitting or.
But here's the thing about you: if you had a hobby, it will become work for you.
I know. I have a problem. I really enjoy working.
Yeah, I know.
But I have to find a hobby that I will not turn into a job and that is not related to any job that I have.
What about whittling?
I mean, pointy objects.
Get yourself a good knife. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
You're going to hand me a knife and tell me to do something with it?
I forgot you had a no sharps rule.
So a lot of stuff to think about. A lot of stuff to talk about is happening. So what I'm going to utilize Threads as, if you want to go follow me on Threads, everywhere I'm on social media and here on YouTube, is I am Val Cameron. But I'm literally going to post random pictures because I do love photography. So
you need to add I am Val Cameron and then in parentheses whoever the hell that is.
Yeah, well, I just said change is inevitable. That's what I put underneath it because it's constantly changing. But and then I think I'm going to try out stand-up material. I'm just going to post stuff like that I might use for stand-up on there and see what works, what doesn't.
Well, I'll follow you on Threads until you kick me off.
I think you're already following me.
Oh, I probably am because I bet
And you want to push the button that you don't, because if you don't push the button when you sign up for Threads to automatically follow everyone you followed from Instagram, then as they add themselves, you'll automatically follow them. Go in and shut that off. Shut that off. So go into your follow, the people that are following you, click on that. It'll show you who you're following, and then you'll go over to, there's another section right there that's like you're waiting for people to come on. Go in there and shut it off.
Okay, because I've been getting notifications. Hey, you're now friends with this person.
And you don't want to be friends with all those people. You don't.
No.
And it's okay. No, you may not. Because we may have followed people when we were in radio and we're now at their event and you're like, I'm being nice and I'm your friend now on Facebook.
Right.
And now I'm following you. Like,
it's different from Facebook and Instagram and because I can't figure it out. People are like putting stuff on Threads that they would put on Instagram too.
My wife wants to know how Threads is different than anything else.
It's more so right now there's no ads, which I love.
It does look really clean compared to Twitter.
It's like a group chat, but one that you're not getting mad at your aunt about because she's not talking. Like, I don't love group chats, but I like to just read what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to be shoved information. Like, I feel like on Facebook, you're shoved information, right? And Instagram is starting to get that way. But I also don't want to just see videos as I scroll of things that I kind of want to just know about things. For me, it feels like when Facebook first started, because I have been with Facebook from the beginning, and it was before there were a ton of videos and a ton of photos, and you could actually type something and someone from across the world that you don't even know can now see it because you're not inundated with all this other shit. And it's a waterfall of words, and you can see things.
Well, I hope they can keep it that way because it seems like inevitably they all kind of end up the same way.
I mean, they've got to make money off of it at some point. Right now, if you go into your account, like you can't boost your account to get more followers. You can't boost a post. Like those things are not there right now.
I don't ever do anything like that anywhere. So
yeah, I mean, we used to do it on Facebook for like our
sure.
show page,
Yeah.
but you can't. I can do that for like my professional page. But even though I have a professional page on Threads, because it took, like, they gave me the blue mark a couple months ago on Instagram, and that went over. So now I have the little blue check mark, but I can't boost anything. So I like that I can't. I like that, like,
no one else can either. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what it is. I think
Threads is going to be like Twitter for me, and I don't ever tweet. All I do is go on Twitter and read. I'll bet I have tweeted fewer than 20 times.
Yeah.
In my life.
Yeah. I have to remind myself to go and put my movie reviews there. Yeah, because usually I just go on there and read things, which I think is okay for it to be like this live newspaper for you, to see things that are going on. And I think that's what it's trying to do without all of the trolls. But I've already caught some trolls like yesterday. There's definitely some trolls on Threads, but it's easier to unfollow and to block those people than it is on the other platforms. I've noticed.
I'll change my settings as soon as we're done.
Yeah, do that. Well, thanks, Mike, for talking shit with
me. Absolutely. Yeah. Now it says part 1. So if there's a part 2.
Yeah, I think that we should, mull over what we talked about today. Maybe if there are some comments and some other stories that pop up.
And you probably want to get somebody else's view.
Well, I reached out to Chris Clark to see if maybe he would be on the show with us, the comedian Chris Clark, to talk about his shy shitting, and then we can all kind of chat. So if he gets back to me, then maybe our next episode will be
I'll just watch
with
that
a guest. Well, you don't want to ask him questions?
Well, sure. Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, please share like your shitting stories. Please let us know if you want to be on the show. Maybe you have something awesome to share. I'm totally open to that. But Mike, I miss you. Thank you. Happy late birthday.
Thank you.
We need to go get sushi at some point.
Let me know when you're in town for a few days, and we'll do that.
I'm going to go party with your wife at some point as well. So.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, that's a whole nother topic. It's the year of Joy at my house.
Joy is hot. I mean, Joy's always been hot, but
she's
Joy,
doing all the things. She's doing all the things.
Since she retired, I feel like she's like.
She's not retired. Val says, since you retired.
I thought she retired from teaching.
She did retire from teaching.
Yeah.
But when you say retired, that means she's never working again. She
retired from teaching, and now she's this hot, sexy bartender.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
for something, you're still eligible for income, right?
I got to step up my game. I've been told by many people that I need to step up my game. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Also, get out of bed when you're hawking up a lung. That's what I learned about you today.
Oh yeah.
On the TikTok.
I had a coughing fit the other morning, and it didn't occur to me that maybe I should get up so that my wife could sleep, because I'm an idiot. But now I know.
Now you know. Now the whole world knows.
It was a couple mornings ago that I woke up. It was like 4 a.m. and I realized I'm about to have a coughing fit. So I got up and came downstairs, and she came down later and said, "Hey, thank you so much for getting the fuck out of bed."
I love it. All right. Well, we're going to share this. Please like, share, subscribe. A lot of things going to be happening. A lot of topics, a lot of good movies. I see Oppenheimer.
Oh, I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah, next week. They're not screening the Barbie movie for us. They're not doing a critic screening.
Why do you think? Are you worried about that?
It's either so. There's a couple of different reasons. One, there might be too many things to give away, and they just don't want to do that, or
it sucks,
or it's a big pile of steaming shit. So we'll see. I am actually going to go see the new Mission Impossible movie on Thursday with my dad. I'll be talking about that on Friday on Good Things Utah, along with a documentary called Black Ice that's about black hockey players and the history of black hockey players, which there are more than you think there are.
I guess so. Hey, personal favor.
Yeah.
We really want Nisha to MC our gala in November.
Okay.
If you could just kind of, she came to our gala last year, so she knows what it is. But if you could just kind of
Have you asked her? Because she usually says yes.
We've really tried, and we just can't seem to get a hold of her. So.
Oh, okay. I'll bring it up.
All right.
Do you want to come to the show one day and like?
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay, I'll ask her.
You know I don't like going places.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
This is fun.
Okay. Oh my gosh.